So today we start the next thing, that is, you can say, the input and output, right? Okay, I think actually there is some connectivity issue, so that's why uh, you can say, mm, we already explained that. Actually, what I trying to say in that particular case, that uh, we are discussing about the input and output, right? So input and output, what does it mean? That means, you can say, what does it mean? It means that whenever you write a particular library file, whenever you write a particular library file, that means that this printf, scanf, this all those stuffs that has been stored, actually that has been stored in the header file, which is stdio.header file, right? So now the question is that, in that particular case, I am just writing a simple program. I am writing a simple program, and in that particular simple program, what we can say, that integer is x equals to printf hello and printf %dx. That means in that particular case, what I want to tell you, that what should be the return type, of printf. That is the main thing that I want to say. So in that particular case, I am just written a simple program. You know that integer, that is x equals to printf hello, and I am just printing the value of x. So in that particular case, let we do this program like that. This is an online compiler, online C compiler, where you can see that, you can say that in that particular case, I am just integer x equals to printf hello world, and I am just printing the value of x. So in that particular case, when you run a program, that means this printf is nothing but a particular, that is the inbuilt functions. So what should be the return type of printf? That would be stored in x, and x would be printed here. So if we run this program, you will see that will print you the hello world, and as well as it will print you 11. What is 11? 11 is nothing but, the number of, letters. That means HELLO, that is, and then the space is counted, and then WORLD. That means that total is nothing but the 11 characters, right? So the thing is that, so in that particular program, it will print hello 5. This will print hello 5. That means hello will be printed, and it will return the number of characters in integer format. So what we can say, that printf, that means in that case, the printf that always returns, an integer, that is, you can say, the number of, you can say, symbols displayed on the screen, displayed on the screen. That means, you can say, the number of characters in integer format, number of character in integer format. That should be the return type of printf. So now what will happen? Let's see another problem. If the problem is written like that, if the problem is written like that, say I am just writing the program, say has include, you can say stdio.h, and say mm, like a integer main, and I am just want to print this. That means you can say printf, say %d, and you can say printf, say 1 2 3, you can say 4, like that. So what should be the output of this? What should be the output of this? So now in that particular case, what will be the output? Since this printf, that will print 1 2 3 4, and as well as it will return the number of characters in integer format. Since it will return the number of characters in integer format, that means it will again print 4. So in that case the output is, you can say 1 2 3 4 and 4, right? So let's give you another problem, whether you can solve it or not. Say the problem is like that, you can say void, that is main, and say integer a, say a equals to, you can say printf, and say this is debian, say %d, and this is, and say I'm giving printf, say full cut. That is the thing, and then say I'm giving like that, printf %d and a. So what should be the output of this? What should be the output of this? This is a printf, this is my name, and you can say percent d, and then this one is the Ganguly and the printf Kolkata. So what should be the output of this thing? What will happen if we talk about the output? First it will print Kolkata, right? It will print Kolkata. And after printing Kolkata, it will return 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 character, right? And this 7 character will be replaced there, right? That character will be replaced there. So what will happen? It will then print DEBAYAN, and this is a 7, and then you can say this one, and this printf will return the number of character containing this string. That means containing this string. That means this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. That means it will return 15 because that has a 50 number of characters. So that is the problem that I want to discuss. That means the printf that will return the number of successful input that is taken. Okay, that means number of successful input, not number of successful, number of characters in the integer form. So printf that will return the number of character in integer form. That is the main thing. So that is the thing. If someone asks you what is the return type of printf, so you can say printf returns number of characters actually in, you can say, integer form. Now the question is that in some interview or in semesters they may ask you the questions like that. Say the question should be like that, that I want to print your name. That means I want to say print my name without, you can say, using semicolon, without using semicolon. So the thing is that, what is the problem? The problem is that without using semicolon, because when you are using this printf statement, that means you have to use the semicolon. But what I want to say, that you have to print something but without using semicolon. So the thing is that say within this if, I can write, say printf, you can say this one, right? So that means if we write the program this way, that means what is happened? This printf will return 7. So within if we print 7, that means that is correct, and if this is correct, your program will run. But I can print my name but without using semicolon. I can print my name but without using semicolon. So the thing is that, let's see, if you have some confusion, we can run there. That means I want to print my name without using semicolon. So what I'm saying, that you can use the if statement, and within if I just write my, you can say, my name, and say I just write my name and I'm not using semicolon, and I am just opening and closing bracket within the if. You can write or you don't need to. So this is the program, simple program. So within if, you are just uh, I want to print my name but without using semicolon, because I am writing this printf within the if statement. Now if you can run this program, you will see that will print my name. It will print my name, and I am printing it but without using the semicolon. So the next thing is that, if the question has been asked like that, I say want to print, say my name within if, and say want to print my title within else, within else, and you have to use only one if else. You have to use only one if else. So now if we want to write that type of program, then what will happen? I can write like that within, because I have to print my name. If we write the program like that, say if, and within if I am writing, say, my name, and within else if I print my title, say I am using only one if else. But the problem is that if the if condition is satisfied, then it will not goes to the else, right? If the if is satisfied, then it will not goes to else, and that is a problem. So how can we solve the problem? That means in that case, if you see that if is written like that, and say within else, I can use the, you can say, the printf statement, and you can say that I can write the thing. So within if, this should be there, and within else I just want to print my name, right, my title. But if you run this program, if the if condition is satisfied, that will not goes to else. But I want to print both of them. Then what will happen? I can use, you can say, I can use not. I can use, you can say, the not. If we use not, if you just print, then we will explain the thing. It will print my name as well as my title. It will print my name as well as it will print my title. So the thing is that in that particular case, what is happening? What is happening? I am giving a not. What is the meaning of that? This divine. That means this divine will be printed, and this divine will actually, you can say, it will return, the number of characters in integer format. The number of characters in integer format, that means 7. That means within if, that will be not 7. So not of positive number, that means within if this is 0, that means 0 means the condition is false, and if the condition is false, it will go to the else and it will print the thing Ganguli. So that is the thing. That means in that particular case, what is happening, that I am using only one if else, and by using only one if else, what will happen? I am just printing this name and title by only using one if and else. So I am done with the printf. That means what is the return type of printf? If someone asks you the simple question, the answer is the printf will return the number of characters in integer format. That is the thing. Now the next questions that will come, that is about scanf. That is about, you can say, that scanf. So scanf is also one of the library function, and if I am asking you that what should be the return type of scanf, so you can say that scanf, that you can say always return, you can say always returns, you can say integer, always returns integer, that is number of proper input given, that is, you can say, number of proper input, you can say, given. So scanf always returns integer, that is the number of proper input given. So say what does it mean actually? If I am saying that is a main and say integer x, y, and I am giving some sn, I am giving some sn, I am just writing simple printf and say enter to proper integer, enter to proper, you can say, integers. So what is this? Sn you can write like that, say scanf, you can say percent d, say ampersand x and ampersand y, and I want to print, say percent d and the value of sn. I just want to print that particular thing. So what is happening? X and y, and you are given sn. I am just taking two proper integers, and by using scanf I am taking two actually inputs. Now the thing is that I am just taking two inputs, and I just want to print the value of sn. What the sn will give you? Sn just give you the what should be the input that is taken by the scanf. So in that particular case, what we can do, that in that particular case, if the input, that is dependent on the input means that what should be the input that is given by the users. So say what I am given, that x and y, that value is integer. Now say it may be possible that this is the corresponding, you can say, input, and that is the value of Sn. Say the input is given as star and dollar, and what does it mean? That means star is not an integer and dollar is also not an integer. That means that is not the proper integer, because scanf is willing to take the input as integer, but you are giving something different, that is star and dollar, so that will give you 0. In modern compiler it will give you some different result, but that is the actual thing that is happening. Say I am giving 10 and say 3.5. So what will happen? This 10 is nothing but integer, but this 3.5 is a float number. So here the input is 1. In some modern compiler, they will give some different results, but the thing is this, that is the correct versions you can take. That means if we give the input say 10, 30, that means there are two input that you are given and both are the integer. That means scanf will give you the return value as 2. So that you can say that is the return type of scanf. So scanf always returns integer, that is the number of proper input given. Proper input. That means if you are not given proper input, that means the scanf will not give you the actual result. Say you can say, let's another program, we will solve the another program. Say that you have to predict the output. Say I am given has input, you can say stdio.h and say integer min. Say I am taking an array. This is the array of which can take maximum 100 element. I am just giving you printf %d and say scanf. This is a %s and array, right? So suppose the input value give for above scanf is my name. Say you can say that suppose that input value, suppose that you can say the input value that will give for above scanf is my name. So what will happen? And this value is returned 0. So I am asking you what should be the output of this program. That means this is a character array which can take maximum hundreds element, and the thing is that by using this printf I am just giving the scanf, that means this array I am just giving input as my name. So what should be the value that is written by the scanf? In that particular case, what will happen, that since I am taking input just only Debayan, what does it mean? That means in that particular case the output is only 1, because here they are not counting the number of characters, because scanf returns the number of input it has successfully read, and you are reading a string, whatever length be the length be the string, it doesn't matter, because it will just take that particular input. So what is the thing? So in C this scanf actually returns scanf returns the number of inputs. Scanf returns the number of inputs it has successfully read. It has successfully read, right? So that means here the output is only 1, because you are reading only one string, right? Because you are reading only single string. So that is happening. That is happening. So I think that particular part is clear. That means what should be the return type, what should be the input, what should be the return type of different inputs like scanf, printf, and all those stuffs. So this is nothing but the input and output, mainly actually name that. By using printf and scanf, you can do lot of things. You can do lot of things like by using scanf. What is the problem of scanf? Like say I just want to enter my name as well as say my title. Then what will happen? Say I'm just writing a particular program, integer main. Say I'm just you can say I'm just declaring a character array. The name of the array is str, and say the maximum value your array can take. Say you can say 50. This is more than this is an array. Now I'm saying that printf enter a string with spaces. Say enter a string with say spaces, and the thing is that so I'm using this scanf. So since I have to take some input and this scanf that we take as an input as a string, so you can say that this one is nothing but this one is nothing but this s, and what we can say that is str, and the thing is that so what will happen in that particular case? I have to just give an input as a string with the spaces. If we run this program, then your printf will say that enter a string with spaces. So I am just entering my name and then space, and then you can say uh, this particular title. So now I am just pressing enter. Then what will happen? This scanf will take, okay, that's why if I want to see what I just print, then you have to write the thing. Say in that particular case, what will happen? I just want to print what I am entering. That means what the string str will contain. So in that particular case, say I just want to print that you entered, and the thing is that this is modulo s, and the thing is that str. So if I want to run this particular thing again, if I am running this, that means say I am entering I am just a minute, it will be better if we can run it again. So I'm just entering my name with space. I just enter my title. But if I'm you only enter Japan, that is the problem. What will happen if you are giving any space? If you are given any space, then what will happen? It will only take the string before space, right? So uh, it will only print you my name, right? So how can we avoid that? How can we avoid that? So the thing is that if we want to avoid, that means that is clear from this point of view, that the scanf, that will not take space. That means if you will give space, a scanf will take up to this space. Then what can we do? We can use one thing that is called the scan set, right? What you can do, that when you are using this scanf, that means before taking that, what you can say, I can give a third packet, and within this third bucket I can give a particular, you can say, a caret sign. That means you can say this particular caret sign, and you can say the black space in, right, like that. What I am written here, caret and backspace in. Now if we can run this program, and I am just giving my name and as well as this, if I enter, there is something I think problematic, because this can set, it may not work in everywhere, but the thing is in that online compiler that will, but that is the procedure that you can use if you just want to enter that thing. Let's see whether that will work in our normal, you can say, the code safe, the, you can say, the code blocks environment, say code blocks environments, I can, because that is one of the, and that is known as the scan set, that is known as nothing but the scan set. Scan set is nothing but, you can say, a particular command that by using that you can do lots of things. That means if we can just, you can say, just copy it, and say you can just save files, and whatever be the thing, you can say you can run it. So I can give the same thing. So in that case, in that particular case, that will work like that. So this is, oh, I am doing wrong. This percent s should be before that. Sorry for that. This one is the percent s, and if we do the same thing, that means this is nothing but, you can say, that will print like that. So the, like, this is the, that means by using this particular scan set I can avoid, that means normally the scanf that will not take this blank space, but if we use that particular scan set means, you can say, you just clearly, you can see that is nothing but that percentage, and you can say this caret sign and backslash in. That means this is nothing but the scanf, and this backslash in, that means you are trying to avoid the character, right? So they, this is called nothing but the scan set. By using scan set, you can use different thing, like if I just want to print, say, only the capital letters, that you can write like that. If we just want to print the capital letter, that means a to, you can say a to, say, say this capital. Let's see whether it will work. That means if I am saying like that, say I am written like that. So if we run that, it will just, you just see I am giving D E is a capital letter, and then B A Y A N, that is in a small letter, but that will give you only the capital letter. That will only give you the capital letter. So if we use, that means if you want to print only the capital letter, if you want to print only the small letters, you can do it by using that, right? So that is the thing, that is one of the important thing that what I am telling you. So in that particular case, what will happening, that that is happening now in the, if we use this scan set, say I want to read all characters but stop after first occurrence of A, then what you can say, that you can read all character but you can stop after the first occurrence of A. Then you can also use in the scan set, say I just want to stop after the first occurrence of A, so I can write like that. I can write like that. So say I just want to, you can say, run this particular program. So let's see whether that will give. Say I'm giving DEBAYAN, then what will happen? That will print DEB because there is a A. That means I want to stop. I want to stop after the first occurrence of A, and that will happen here. And these all are called, you can say, these all are called the scan set, and that is one of the functions, right? Here you can say, I can also use, there is another thing, by if you want to avoid the scan set, you can easily use the gets. You can easily use the gets, right? That means if you use this particular gets, say gets, you can say this str, by using gets you can just take the input like that. That means gets will take whether you are giving a space or not, it doesn't matter. So say Devan and you are just writing this one, that will, but the thing is that this particular gets, that means whenever I use this gets, this gets may not be a good idea in general. Try to avoid gets because it is impossible to tell without knowing the data in advance how many characters gets will read. And because gets will continue to store character past the end of the buffer, it is extremely dangerous to use. It has been used to break computer security. So you can use fgets, right? You can use fgets. So the thing is that that is nothing but the input and output. This is nothing but input and output. Okay. So due to some issues in internet connections, I think there will be someone who already been left. So whatever the problem is, that you can just go through this particular thing, and I think that is one of the important thing, because in normal input output, how you can print, how you can say, you can scan, that are important. But in that particular case, what I'm saying, that in that particular case, that what should be the return type of printf, what should be the return type of scanf, that are the most important thing that you need to know. That are the most important thing that you need to know. So in the next class, uh, you can say that I am trying to cover, I'm trying to cover something, you can say that, which is, mm, after input output, and you can say the operators, there are lots of operators, but in semesters you need not to know lots of things. So we will cover the loops, if else statement, the switch case, loops, because the thing is that are the most important thing, and we will cover some of the programs like factorial of a number, you can say the GCD, the Fibonacci series, Armstrong numbers, all those things that we will cover in the next class, which is totally on the loops. And the thing is that let we will meet in the next class positively such that we can cover that different types of programs. Thank you.